All right, I'm about to do a another RP TikTok compilation. Hopefully, I haven't seen it, so I'm just gonna hope it's good. Dare to be greater. Dare to do whatever the fuck you want.
That's not to say that men should live just to serve women, although there is, I think, an argument to be made that that is the case, since women are the ones who produce children.
We're living in a time where women have a million demands and absolutely nothing to offer us. And you can't even say sex anymore because all they have to do is say that they didn't consent to it, and you're going to prison and getting raped to death in a shower. So to say that men should take care of women in 2023 is a retarded farce.
And if children are the future, I think there's a good case to be made that the point of.
And I don't really give a shit if they can give you children anyway, because what happens in the family courts? Who gets the children after they're born? The mother. Who has to pay for the child even though he never sees him until he's 18 if he's lucky? The dad. So, and with this fucking, oh, but we can give you kids garbage because you're literally worthless. I'm not saying that men who use sex dolls don't have some mental problems, but you also have to. I wouldn't even want to. I can't even possibly fathom the horrors that a man would have to survive in order to think that a blow up doll or a AI doll is better than an actual woman.
Society should be ultimately to serve the interests of women.
That's what we did before the whole feminist movement. We served our women. We went out and worked. We went out to war. We went out and.
Imagine men struggling and sacrificing and surviving and navigating and conquering and fighting to sustain and working ourselves to death to build women the most comfortable civilization in human history, and then have them thank us by spending 100 years destroying it all just for the sake of doing it, and then having them tell you that you need to step up. Fuck you. We already did step up, and you burned everything we built to the ground. So why would we do it again? Just so you could start the process all over? You're the most selfish, ungrateful women in human history, and you can't even realize it because you've gone fucking crazy.
This dark alive so that our family could have money to go out and do stuff to serve our family. That's what we did.
Fellas, without blaming girls, why can't you keep one? Because I don't want to keep them. The longest relationship I ever had was 3 months, and I can't. Let me put it this way: if you can last longer than 3 months in a relationship with a woman in the United States, you're a god amongst men, because they're just human complaining machines that never stop. They just keep going and going and going and going, like the Energizer Bunny, which is also why it's impossible to please them, because we'll always find something to complain about. Hey, we have equal rights, we have everything we always wanted. Now let's manufacture a list of reasons to complain just so we don't have to stop complaining. Any ideas, ladies? What's manspreading?
I met this girl, right? She was like, "Oh, one of my friends thinks you're cute." I'm like, "All right, let me see her IG. You know how she looked like? She valid, right?" She sent me her number. We get to chatting that night, right? Get the chat. The question comes in. I don't know how it comes in. It comes in. She's like, "What's your body count?" And I ain't got no shame in me, bro. I said 2. Bro, I'm being so dead ass. I ain't get a response for the rest of the night, bro. I'm thinking she went to sleep. All right. Next day, I check her.
If her body count number before she meets you is higher than 0, don't even bother, because all that means is that she doesn't have any respect for herself and she doesn't have any respect for you. Period. That is the most blunt, honest, straightforward way it can be put. Because if she had any respect for herself She would wait for a traditional man and build a family with him and not have thoughts about the thousands of Chads and Tyrones that she slept with racing through her mind nonstop, which is another reason why you can't keep women anymore. Because body count doesn't matter.
I'm blocked. Crazy as hell. I don't give a fuck. I just met the bitch like that day, right? A couple days later, texting a friend that, put me on. I was like, yo, what happened? Why she blocked me? She talking about something. Oh, when you told her your body count was only 2, she knew you were lying and she doesn't like liars. She doesn't you're dealing with liars, and that was a red flag off the bat.
A woman who doesn't like men who lie about their body counts. I don't know what fucking planet we're living on anymore.
It's y'all, bro. It's y'all, bro.
Your body count matters for, among other reasons, the fact that, excuse me, that was a good hit. Men are the ones who lose everything in divorce court when you finally decide to get rid of us. That's why your body count matters. All right, I can't hear any of this.
So if there's a war, men are forced to go and die and be in the trenches and get chemical.
Women can get drafted.
Women cannot get drafted. You think women can get drafted?
I don't know, honestly.
I don't think
when we have in
there's-
Vietnam, I don't know.
Women were not drafted in Vietnam.
I know. Okay, but the thing is,
being a housewife is not a reward. Being a woman of leisure is a reward. But that's the same.
I don't know what this guy is about to say, but it's probably something like this. You belong to the streets.
You're serious, aren't you? A housewife's a reward. Getting married itself is a reward. 1 out of 3 of you will get married. You're serious, aren't you?
Dead ass.
Baby. What? You're not going to be a walking, talking sex doll. Cleaning and the dishes and the kids are your duty. I work when I leave. Do you think men with money don't work? If you don't think being married or a housewife is a reward, ask your aunties or your mom.
If you don't think being a housewife is a reward, you're fucking stupid.
When a woman rejects you, she doesn't care about how you're going to walk away and feel, how you are processing that moment. Okay? She doesn't care. So
they care so little that they actually have the audacity to ask you if you still want to be friends. Like you're some kind of fucking emotional punching bag. It's absolutely fucking disrespectful and disgusting, and you should never do it.
And I'm not telling you to do things like women. I'm definitely not. I never do that. However, you do have to be selective and particular about who you let in your life. And so I want to say this to you. If you're not impressed with a woman, she must be eliminated.
Not worth it.
If a girl's messaging you, hey, I'm single. You're like, okay, cool, you're single. And then I'll say, what are you doing tonight? I'll say, oh, I'm out for dinner. And then I see on their Instagram, it's her at Gal, and I can see the table, the physical table. And there's a steak, a lobster thermidor, and 500 grams of caviar on the table. The bottle's done pairing on. I'm like, okay, this girl told me she's a makeup artist. That's $4,000. Yeah. That's how much that costs, because I know, because I spend the same money and I go to the same places. Oh, I'm just at the club with my friends. Say la vie, 10 bottles done pairing on. Okay, that's $10,000 right there. Who's paying for that if she's single? So I think following the money is the best advice I can give to people. Look at their Instagram, look how expensive the things that they're doing are.
Don't even bother with them if they have social media accounts, because it's not your job to compete for their attention.
Believing that the dudes in your DM are trying to give you the world instead of just smash you has got to be some sort of mental illness that needs to be cured.
It's about attention. That's all it's about. That's why guys who pay for dating sites are clowns.
Dubai, being a passport boy is a good idea. If you like my content, please give me a like and a follow.
Being a passport boy means nothing because cancer spreads, and not just all over a single country.
So there's a brand new movement going around called Passport Boys, where guys living in America are done with dating here. So they go to a different country to find themselves a wife. Colombia, Thailand, Brazil, Japan, Norway. They find a dream wife and they settle over there or bring her back home. And you want to know the funniest thing? The ladies here in America are complaining about that. They've been saying a lot of stuff, but the three things that
You have a 0% chance of your foreign wife not divorcing you if you bring her back to America because cancer spreads.
I always see passed by is they're becoming slaves to us. We're taking advantage of them. We're making them our house toys. Or just be saying, oh, I don't care. You do you. I don't care. It's ironic because they made a 10-minute video of how they don't care. My opinion, I'm up for it. But leave me your opinions in the comments.
Quick tip when it comes to women. Nothing easy is worth having. And a cheap price attracts a lot of customers. Meaning that if her value is very low, or if she doesn't know her value, then she's most likely going to be giving it up to anybody and everybody, including their brother. So you want to be very careful and be very mindful of who you're spending your energy on. Because in that situation, who's really winning?
Body counts matter for the same reason that Venezuelan currency does. I'll let you figure that one out by yourself because I'm blasted on a lot of things from my shoulder surgery. The pharmacy basically gave me an Elvis Presley special.
That I will always live by is what one man won't do, another man will.
I remember back in college a couple years ago, in this very car, actually, I was sitting with a past significant other. We were in some big argument about something random.
Never argue with a woman. Let them leave you. The arguing isn't even worth the aggravation anymore because half the time they just want to complain and not have the problems they're complaining about solved. They just want to, don't even bother. It's not worth it. I don't give a fuck about listening to you complain in the first place. So why would I care about listening to you complain when you don't even want a solution to the problems you're complaining about?
And eventually she goes, you know, I deal with a lot in this relationship for someone as young and attractive as I am in this college. So I go,
none of you are as hot as you think you are because the wall was, is, and always will be undefeated. And most of you burn the candles at both ends so rapidly that when you hit the wall, you're going to crash into it harder than Dale Earnhardt.
Okay, go be young and pretty in college. Because if that's your mindset around me and the relationship, then I don't want to deal with it, and you can go. I said it calmly, and I meant it. She didn't even look at the door. She didn't budge, because at the end of the day, there's a reason she's sitting in my car having that argument with me for hours rather than taking the easy route and going for one of the other dudes that's willing to do whatever and is waiting for our relationship to fail. You can't act like your significant other is that replaceable and it's that easy simply because other people exist. So if someone says this to you, call their bluff.
Women are replaceable based entirely on the fact that they outnumber men now.
If you're a guy and this happens to you in your relationship, it's just game over. This is the one thing that there's no turning back from. So when guys cheat, they can kind of cheat just physically and not really emotionally, and that's just kind of how they operate. When a woman cheats, it's usually emotionally involved. Once a girl starts getting feelings for someone else outside of her relationship, it's game over. Even the tiniest little spark with someone else, she will slowly fall out of love with you. There's a bunch of signs to look out for on this, that it may be happening. I have other videos on that. Check them out. And also, if this helps you, follow me on Instagram at Mindset Master Mike and DM me free PDF. I will change your life after a breakup or divorce, get you into a dating mindset, whatever the fuck you need.
You just spent like 30 seconds not saying anything.
Now, if she does fall out of love with you and you could sense the distance and she's slowly leaving you or whatever, she calls the shot, breaks up with you, do not be a little bitch and start chasing her down and sending her all these love texts and all this shit. Dude, her feelings are already elsewhere. And like I said, once that happens, you're done. If you chase after her after something like that, you're literally justifying her decision and you're pushing her further away. You're making yourself look stupid. Don't waste your time with it. Because if she was slowly exiting
There's other 304s in the sea.
the the relationship emotionally, it's done. Close the chapter of your life and move forward and look at what's ahead of you. Don't waste time on liars and cheaters.
For the first time in its history, the American Psychological Association released guidelines concerning men and boys, saying that so-called traditional masculinity not only is harmful, but could also lead to homophobia and sexual harassment. And the main...
One of the things that bothers me most about life is that I'm not going to live long enough to see the collapse in the context of men not caring about the problem anymore, and all of these disgusting whores who constantly bash men having to rebuild the society they destroyed on purpose because they're not capable, they don't want to, and they won't be able to because all they did for the 30 or 40 years prior to that was tell men how worthless and useless and toxic and disgusting we are. So once all this house of cards completely implodes, ladies, good luck replacing it, because the only people who are going to be willing to help you are simp men, and they're as useless as you are.
Trust is that traditional masculinity, which you are a great defender of,
That's called being a man, by the way.
marked by stoicism, competitiveness, dominance, and aggression, is on the whole.
Yeah, imagine having testosterone when you're a man.
Study out today that says women become unhappy as they get older. Well, the flip side, men get happier as life goes on.
That's because women age like milk and men age like wine. That's why. Oh, and they also realize about 30 years after they've been constantly told feminism is garbage and it's just going to destroy you, that feminism actually turned out to be garbage that destroyed them. But they didn't want to hear that 20 years ago because men were saying it. I'll never understand why people ever took feminism seriously.
This is true.
Come on.
I mean, come on.
All right, first of all,
Don't get me started.
I know you've missed me, Mark. First of all, this study was conducted by mostly men. I mean, ask any woman if she would choose her car over her children, and she'd take the kids any day, whereas I would question a woman.
No, she absolutely would not. I would guess 85% of the time she would take the car over the kid, because in 2023, kids are nothing but accessories to a woman's lifestyle. They're just a means to an end for welfare and child support checks. So no, the man would be more likely to keep the kid over the car. Men love cars, but men actually care about their kids.
A lot of men out there, quite frankly.
Tracy, I
There's
can't
a
believe what I
reason
just
that
heard you
women live
say.
longer, Mark. Let me tell you. It is because we are stronger
Yes.
and we are happier at the end of the day than most men. And that is factual, and you know it.
When men are married to women who scream like you, they just want to die sooner.
Oh,
Can I ask you a
man.
question? What is your definition of a hot woman?
Promiscuous woman.
Right. So people think I'm promiscuous because I dance fully nude in front of people.
No way. That's
Yes,
wild.
they call me a hoe because of it.
Can't believe that. What? These
Yeah, guys,
bastards.
surprise.
That's because you are a hoe. Damn it, I lost it. Your father couldn't even keep you off the
Guys,
poles.
surprise. So,
Well, and or
so you know, actually,
I should be able to wear whatever I want, wherever I go, and a man should never be able to do it.
You can wear whatever you want, wherever you go, whenever you feel like it. Just don't expect me to give a fuck, or anybody else, any other man with self-respect.
The minute we start educating boys rather than telling women what to dress, that's the day
And
that
I should be able to wear 17 Rolexes on this arm, 17 Rolexes on this one, and walk down down the London ghetto street and not get robbed. I should be able to do that. You know what? We live in the real world.
That's a problem. Well, you live in a fantasy world defined by an ideology that was designed to destroy you, and you don't even care.
Women do not have options. Look, I'm about to break this shit down so you guys can fully understand this shit. You guys are confusing the women having the option to go to Pound Town with a lot of guys as options. Let me give you a more profound example. Let's say you had 10 gay dudes in your inbox right now. Would you consider those options. No, you wouldn't. And if you did, that's a problem. See, women have a lot of guys chasing after them to go to Pound Town, but women don't want to go to Pound Town. And also, women do not find men that they like. You guys do not have any idea of how picky women are and how many guys they actually do not like. Why do you think that women run back to you after they break up with you? It's because they find this shit out themselves. The guy that they was going to probably replace
100% of your problems could be solved just by listening to what men say and taking it seriously. But you had to start feminism instead.
You would probably didn't want her, and the other guys all just want to go to Pound Town with her. They don't want a relationship with her. You the only guy that want her like that. They don't have options. Fellas, if you want to learn how to talk these women out their drawers, you know where to click.
Just tell them you don't want them.
When you're starting a relationship, it's a key moment to not lose masculine frame. So here's what you have to do. Keep her head in the game of being in the relationship with you. Your team, your time, energy, attention, money shouldn't be easy to get or keep. She should be working 24/7 to make your shared dreams a reality. She's got the time and energy to be nagging you. The dream ain't big enough, or she doesn't understand the assignment. Intimacy is a reward for a calm and aligned mind. Never reward a confused mind with your intimacy. Third is she won't love you more than she's ever loved another man unless she gives you more than she's ever given another man. And then just reciprocate all this.
All these little boys going and shooting up schools and churches and massage parlors and stadiums. Like, talk about emotional issues. Jesus Christ, I've never been that mad before.
So that was...
If only American history had recorded shootings committed by women. Maybe I should search I Just Hate Mondays on Google and see what I find.
Model and actress Julia Fox talking about how women control their emotions better than men while she takes a piss. This was her just a couple of days previous.
This isn't an issue with celebrities. This is an issue with men, goddammit! Men!
Yes, her self-control and equanimity rivals that of a Tibetan monk.
Let me tell you something, ma'am. A lot of the men that y'all use are the men who trying to save you. A lot of the men are sitting there saying, you remind him of his mama, and he realized the crap his mama went through. So what he wants to do is save you. And when he turns into me, it's because he's ran into so many walls that he realized.
I'd be a good guy. I used to actually treat women with respect, but as years passed, I started to realize that the more I did that, the more disdain they had for me. So if you're getting treated like dirt by a man, it's not because he doesn't want to treat you like you have worth. It's literally because you don't have any. Because if you did, you wouldn't want guys like me who really just don't give a fuck anymore. You'd want the security and the attention and the money and all the other superficial things you live for.
I'm a fool. I tried to treat this woman better than she saw herself. She didn't see herself as a wife. She saw herself as a baby mama. She didn't see herself as a...
If she belongs to the streets, then she belongs to the streets, and there's nothing you can do to change that.
wife. She saw herself as an Instagram thot. She didn't see herself as a wife. She saw herself as, yeah, city girls is up. So there's a lot of women who can tell you right now, I had a good man, but he was lame. I had a good man, but he was exciting.
I'm definitely going to be 10 times sneakier than you'll ever be. If I do cheat on you, it's because I have little to no feelings for you. Oh, and when I do cheat, it's going to be more emotional than physical. Oh, and if you catch me, I'm definitely going to play victim and flip the entire situation on you. So,
That's the best they have to offer, and they wonder why marriage rates are plummeting.
yeah.
You guys paying separate or together? Together. I'm gonna pay for it. I know that's right. And it's giving gentleman, because as a man, why aren't you paying for the whole thing? Give my car back.
You can either have equality and split the check, so you can go back to traditionalism. Pick one.
page.
And he's packing up his leave.
If she starts an OnlyFans page, deuce out. Don't ask questions. Don't get mad. Don't argue. Just leave. Because if she's starting an OnlyFans account, it means she doesn't have any respect for you at all. At all. You might as well just lay down on the ground with your mouth open and let her piss in it, because that's how she feels about you. And it's not because she's incapable of finding a real job. It's because she's a lazy cunt.
He is absolutely justified in walking away. She crosses the boundary and you leave. That's it.
I really don't find girls interesting. A lot of girls are not interesting, man. That's the number one problem with Gen Z girls. They've all been so addicted to social media. They're all involved in the same thing as astrology.
A lot of men just don't care about women anymore because you've surrendered everything that men find attractive about you to feminism. And to my dying day, I will never understand why you thought that was a good idea. Because now you're all addicted to prescription medications and living alone with cats and crying yourself to sleep every night, when all you had to do was listen to the men who actually care about you, instead of people that are trying to destroy you by pretending they're trying to empower you. And that is why the man is supposed to be the leader, because most of us aren't going to make decisions that stupid and irresponsible. To an extent, because we're the ones who allowed this to happen in the first place. But the collapse is going to be beautiful. I cannot wait.
Jeffrey Dahmer, copy-paste, TikTok dancing, the same talking points and same opinions about everything, and they like the same.
I've literally seen women go viral on YouTube for mouthing expressions that other people said. Because you're so oppressed that you can get millions of views off of unoriginal content, and I'll be lucky if 6 people watch this, because that's how oppressed you are.
Interest, they all do nail techs and Del Close and Depop. It's all copy paste, and it gets really boring after a while.
Talking about being a hoe, all this other shit. It's like, bro, like you can't sit there, monetize off of it, create this image, and then get mad when people label you as that image. Like, you are a 304. You had sex with a bunch of men, and now it's coming to light, right? And you got to deal with the consequences of your actions. Like, yes, men are not going to respect you when you're a hoe. And God, I want if there's any women watching this podcast, that is your queen right there. That is a woman that's big on feminism and sexual liberation and all this shit. Now that the light's out there, what the fuck is she doing? I regret all this. I feel really dirty.
Yeah, now that you've hit the wall and you're not desirable anymore, all of a sudden you regret the past that you voluntarily chose because you wanted easy money and fast clout. And I'm supposed to be the cleanup guy for that. No thanks. You can go back to the prawn.
I say it all the fucking time. Women cannot be hoes long term. And most importantly, they can't be hoes when there's a spotlight shining on them. All right? They want to be able to be hoes without
Whether she likes it or not, Mia Khalifa is a whore.
necessarily being shamed. Sorry, it doesn't fucking work that way. I can't be a fucking hobo and sit there and say, treat me like a king anyway. It doesn't work that way. Men have to deal with the consequences of their inadequacies. Women, however, think in some crazy clown world, they should not be held accountable for their inadequacies.
It's gotten to the point where we can barely differentiate between women and children, because women function the exact same way as children do when they don't get what they want. The difference is eventually the child will stop complaining and fighting with you.
No, fuck that shit.
I'm not going to beg for your time when you give it to your homeboys for free.
And I'm not going to pay for Chad and Tyrone's leftovers.
Just find somebody who's not gay.
I've noticed this trend recently of women thinking they can say problematic stuff, but it's okay because, like, smash the patriarchy or it's quirky or whatever. Like, Babes, that's not quirky. It's just homophobic. Like, men are allowed to have other friends.
This is a perfect example of the left eating itself and why people finally get fed up with it and just leave the Democratic Party entirely. It's not racism. It's not sexism. It's because you can never stop complaining to the point where all you do is end up eating each other because you're so fucking insane that you don't even know what you're talking about anymore, but you're 100% sure that you do.
Friends, other male friends, other female friends. Like, it's okay. You are not the only person in their world. And I get it. Like, some people have a really hard time moving past that, like, middle school relationship mentality, but at a certain point, you have to grow up.
Yeah, like at 18. Oh, that was another anti-feminist shit festival, but until next time.